Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakarash. Double honors to the head apostles, elder slash bishop, and a great millstone, who taught me 100% of this truth, who teach and rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to the hopeful elect. Keep pushing, keep believing, keep the faith, regardless if people hear or forbear. Shalom. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Yo, first off, y'all gotta respect the prophets that came before you. A lot of people come into this truth and they do not respect the ones that came before them. The ones that was teaching 100% truth, calling on the right names, and prophesizing. Respect the prophets that came before you, man. Especially our forefathers, man. The ones that been there before too. All the ones that prophesied before us, man. Jeremiah, look, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8 itself. Prophesied before us. People come into this truth, learn a little something, then they think they know everything. That's why it's good to have a humbling spirit. But the prophets before has always been prophesizing about war, pestilence, civil war, class war, race war, man, evils, man, against many kingdoms that came and went. Countries that came, that's still here, that came and went as well. Countries, kingdoms, nothing but pestilence, evils, famine, death, destruction, war. Man, listen, always respect the prophets that came before thee. A lot of people now finding out that they Israelites. Before they looked at you, they looked at the prophets of old, the prophets that currently came recently in the past, 10, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, and looked and laughed at those prophets. Oh, y'all bugged out. We ain't trying to hear the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, who y'all ignorantly call as God and JC. We ain't got time for that. They outside preaching the Bible. They bugged out, man. Look at all of this right here. Look at all of this outside, man. We get into the bag. Look at my girl. Look at her. Look what I'm driving. Look where I live at. That's the problem with 2/3 of our people, Jake the snake and Eve, that like to deceive. They don't like to listen. They despise the prophets. They ignore the prophets. They think they ain't prophets at all. And that's the thing. A lot of y'all, 2/3, you Jake the snakes and Eve, y'all ain't doing nothing with your lives anyway. But Sly's bending over backwards and folding for sleazy Esau, Edom, and his kingdom, his rules, his regulation, his policies. But you reject the prophets of old and the prophets that's here now, that came the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and so on. Y'all still despise them because they prophesizing the things that y'all don't want to hear about: pestilence, famine, diseases, war, civil war, class war, race war. Nothing but evils coming to this so-called kingdom, and many countries on the four corners of the earth. Y'all don't want to hear that. All y'all want to do is party and bullshit like shit sweet out here. Nobody say you can't have a good time, but we living in some evil time. This ain't time to party. If you're going to party your ass at home. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25 and verse 4. And the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, has said, sent unto you all his servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them. But ye have not hearkened nor incline your ear to hear. That's Jake. Jake would never listen. Eve would never listen. They think they know it all now. Only reason they know that they Israelites is because of the prophets outside. The ones that been in this truth for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years plus. And at least 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25, 30 years plus. That's the only reason a lot of these people know they Israelites. Other than that, they didn't give a damn about the Bible. They didn't give a damn about the truth. They didn't give a damn about anything pertaining to the truth or their nationality. They didn't care about their nationality. They didn't care about nothing. All they cared about is joining hands with sleazy Esau, Edom, and all these other nations, and the whole world could get along, and the Lord loves everybody, and he loves the world, and we can all be friends, and we can all be at peace. No. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, who y'all ignorantly call as God in JC, is not coming back to send peace on earth, but to bring a sword. That's in the book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34. To bring a sword. Nothing but death, destruction, and pestilence is coming to the earth. Nothing but pestilence, death, and destruction. War. Civil war, class war, race war. But 2/3 don't want to hear. Jake the Snake, he still want to be a rapper. Eve that like to deceive, she still want to be a rapper. 2/3 collectively just want to be entertainers, rappers, singers, actors, sports players. That's all they into. I'm not saying I don't like music. I don't like entertainment. I like music. I like entertainment. But that's not all to life. We wasn't created to be sleazy Esau Edom's puppets and dancers and rappers and actors and entertainers and just to be here. No, it's more to life than that. We was created to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, who y'all ignorantly call us God in JC. Not to serve the enemy. Never trust thy enemy. Not to serve the oppressor. When the righteous is in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And that's a fact. Right now, look what's going on. People losing jobs. Over 1 million jobs was cut this year. Close to 1 million or a little bit over 1 million jobs has been cut within America for 2025. Close to 1 million or a little bit over 1 million. Straight up like that right now. But y'all don't want to hear the prophets. They always bearing bad news. They always talking about war. They always talking about this. They talking about that. Yeah, you don't want to hear what we got to say. But oh well, whether you here or for bear, we don't give a damn. We got to do the works out here. A lot of brothers claiming, yeah, I know I'm an Israelite. I know, bro. I know about Israelite. I know about truth. So wait. You know about the truth, so what you doing? Who's going to stand up for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? Who's willing to stand up? His people should be willing in that day. Who's going to stand up? But not 2/3, Jay. They'll stand up for petty gang banging, street, rah, gully gangster thug life stuff. And standing up for some thotty, you know what I'm saying? You know, Eve that like to deceive. Oh, she care about her nails, shoes, bag, and weave. That's all they gonna stand up for. They gonna stand up for big back Keisha and all that. They gonna stand up for what's in the streets and then all this gang stuff. But they ain't gonna stand up for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, who they ignorantly call as God and JC. They're not going to stand up for Yahweh or Yahushua. They're not going to prophesy and declare his glory in front of these heathens. Known by the true prophets, known by our name. Israel kept the precepts, but not the heathens. That's the problem with 2/3 of our people. They don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to hear nothing. But you got to respect the prophets of old, and especially around this generation as well, too. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got prophets out there. You got a lot of camps going off. Talking about God, God, Christ bless, and sex on the Sabbath, and weirdo stuff, and you know what I mean? Doing what they do, jet setting, calling us the bum camp. Yeah, all right. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 31. Because he has despised the word of the Lord. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You know how many people out there despise the word right now? I don't want to hear that. Yo, my G, man. Yo, come on, man. We out here having fun. You out here with this Bible shit. You out here talking this madness. Every minute you bringing up the words of the Lord, bro. Like we ain't, come on, son. Like we ain't trying to. This is the mindset of Jake, the snake. This is the mindset of Eve that like to deceive. This is the mindset of these damn other nations, these heathens out there too. This is the minds of the heathens as well, man. Especially 2/3 of our people. They want to lock arms with these other nations. They want credit. They want love. They want support. They want to fit in with these other nations right now. Why everybody can't get along? Because the Lord separated the nations. We wouldn't be the true children of Israel if he didn't separate the nations. That's the problem with people. They despise his word and has broken his commandments. That soul shall be utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him. See, all the ones that don't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and kiki and kaka, and I don't want to hear nothing, my G. Yo, man, can't tell me when to do this and can't tell me when to do that. Man, the law, statutes, and commandments is done away with. You don't know that? It's done. Where? Show me. There's nowhere in the Bible where they said the law, statutes, and commandments is done away with. You see, when you hang out in a congregation of the dead, these haunted houses where you call churches today, these pastors is not teaching the truth. They got a 501c3 with the government to teach little bit of things, not 100% of truth, a small portion of the truth, and to collect your money up in these haunted houses and these congregations of the dead, where you call these damn churches. That's the problem. This is where Jake the snake and Eve like to deceive, getting their information from. And just up and down in these clubs and up and down in these streets. And even though they come past brothers in the street, they still ain't learning nothing. They still not doing anything. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. But hey, seek your own salvation with fear and trembling. Your soul is going to be utterly cut off. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they couldn't say nobody ain't warn them. They couldn't say anybody ain't kick it to them. They can't say nobody ain't tell them the truth. They couldn't say they ain't hear the truth. Huh? Y'all want to scoff and mock, especially like Drewski out there making little funny videos about camps. I understand certain camps. Yeah, you could say, yo, this camp is going off. They doing this, they doing that. You know what I'm saying? They doing certain things they not supposed to be doing, and da. And you might make a little joke out of it, but to overall joke about the truth, oh, you just put yourself on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's hit list. Huh? You just put yourself on the hit list of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's you. And there's a lot of y'all out there that's a Drewski right now. Loves kicking and cockeying and scoffing and mocking. Man, please. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33 and verse 33. And when this come to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. But with that, I pray this video is edifying to the hopeful elect. And I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Shalom.